are here with Newmarket-based jockey Hector Crouch, and we're going to do a little bit of a profile all about Hector and his career. So, Hector, what got you into being a jockey?
I've always ridden horses. My family have always kind of not pushed us in that direction, but we've always had horses and always ridden. And I think it was at Pony Club one day they brought an equisizer up and introduced us to sort of pony racing, and got involved through that way. And then I just got the bug for racing in general, and I was probably 13 or 14 then. I've sort of been obsessed ever since.
So did you do a lot on the weekends in your teenage years with horses, mucking out and going and seeing your horses? And
yeah, pretty much. I'd say a lot of lads have a very similar sort of story. It's that's how I got into it. It was good introduction into pony racing, and then from there I went into Gary Moore's on the weekends and started working there part-time and kind of sort of honing my craft.
It's quite intense, I imagine, balancing that alongside school. Like, if there are young people watching your video thinking, I want to be a jockey, I want to get into it, what would be your advice for them at that sort of young age on how to balance everything?
I mean, school is the most important thing. I think that can't be underestimated. My parents were very keen for me to get my education and before worrying about, the future or anything. But when you're that young, I don't think it's too important to worry too far ahead into race riding and stuff. Get your GCSEs and your education, and then you can look at exploring what racing has to offer.
And like you say, going into pony racing first allowed you to kind of hone your craft before you moved into becoming an amateur as well. So obviously we are where we are now. We're in the 25-26 season. How do you feel that your winter had gone? Because you were very, very successful.
Yeah, I sort of ended up in contention for the all-weather championship this winter, alongside Billy Loughnane.
That Billy Loughnane.
It was in the end. It wasn't. It did go down to the final week, which was quite intense. But no, it was a very successful winter. I started out trying to chase down 100 winners for the 24 season. And that momentum really carried through into the start of the 2025 year. And we only just missed out on the all-weather championship, but it was good fun. I rode a lot of winners, and it was pretty intense.
Was there a good rivalry between you and Billy towards the end? Did it get a bit spicy at all?
No, I wouldn't. It was all very friendly. It's everyone's just trying to do their best, and sometimes you're not on the horses that are winning. I imagine Billy was probably a bit more frustrated than I was. He really did push very hard through the winter. He came back from Australia earlier, and he was very, very determined and a very worthy winner.
And did you have a favourite horse or victory from that all-weather season?
I was very lucky to get on quite a few, admittedly lower grade horses that really started to rack up a sequence. Overnight Oats of James Owens, I think he won 6 or 7 races over the winter. He really did do a phenomenal bit of help for me winners wise. He was good fun to ride, a little bit tricky, and he liked to come late, so he had some last gasp winners.
Yeah, so those last minute kind of seat of your pants things where you're thinking, my gosh, you've got to get there, mate.
Yeah, he was quite well handicapped when he started off, so it was more
towards the end,
more being a bit cute on him, which is always quite fun.
And then obviously we've gone into the summer season. We've had a lot of our big festivals now, your Ascot's, your Newmarket July meetings and Goodwoods and things. How do you feel your summer's gone so far? Because we're not at the end yet, but we're getting there now. It's getting a bit chillier. Any standout performances from you?
I was unfortunate not to kind of the horses that we'd hoped were going to progress from 2 to 3 didn't really sort of step up, but one that did was push the limit, and him winning at Goodwood was quite important. He's a lovely progressive staying type, and it was important that we got it right, and he came good at Goodwood in a valuable race. So that was probably the highlight of the summer. But unfortunately, there's been plenty of winners, but not too many good ones. So he was very very important.
Have you got any that you're taking forward into the next season where you think there's a horse I'd really like to ride?
There's still plenty of 2-year-olds yet to come out and sort of show their hands, so there's plenty of unraced horses to look forward to, but one in particular he's not unraced, he finished second on his debut, a horse called Jelani.
Okay.
He's owned by Alsha Cab Ammo and Valmont. He was second at Kempton a couple of weeks ago. He's probably would be my standout horse. I hope I get to ride him again, but he's pretty nice.
Oh well, we hope so too. Well, I'm certainly going to go and put him in my tracker now. Obviously, as well, you've had some really sad news out of Rafe Beckett's this past week with the news of Stanhope Gardens. Absolutely gutting for you all. Obviously, he was such an exciting horse. What can you say about him? What happened with that situation?
I don't actually know kind of the details around it, but obviously he was a very talented racehorse. I was lucky enough to partner him twice this year. It's always disappointing when you lose a horse, any horse, but especially one as talented as him. Especially for such a lovely group of owners. Obviously, he was bought for Chelsea Thoroughbreds and Mark Chan, and unfortunately we lost the founding member of Chelsea Thoroughbreds last year. So he was a very sentimental horse as well as being quite talented. So it's a tough loss, and everyone at the yard sort of has taken it pretty tough. But look, it's very unfortunate, and unfortunately tragedies do happen in racing, and it's unfortunate that it's happened to him.
Yeah, I did think of you as soon as I saw the news. As you say, you'd partnered him a couple of times this season, and I thought, oh gosh, that's one of Hector's kind of main rides that I'd seen you on. So yeah, I'm really sorry about that. Obviously it's never nice to lose that kind of potential star, but like you say, the sentimental kind of nature of him as well, with the passing of one of the owners of the Chelsea Thoroughbreds.